But I believe there's somebody out there that knows something, and I believe maybe it doesn't matter. I'm just how do I say it? I want to plead to the public. I want to beg you that if you think you know anything at all, perhaps perhaps you think that what you know is very insignificant because you probably think it is already reported, but you don't know that, okay? That anything at all, anything that anybody saw, whether they think it was out of character or not, if they saw anything, just please report, call Chapel Hill Police Department or the SBI and report it. I am so convinced that it's just the difference in solving this case and it going cold is just one fact. It's just one thing that somebody saw that would give you guys a new avenue. Again, I beg you. I beg the public to please help us. Faith deserves justice. And we would love to have some kind of closure. I know it won't bring her back, but whoever did this, whether it's one person or multiple people, are very likely to do it again. Okay, and these people, this person or persons are walking around free. To the public, they're not free. You know, they're in prison in their minds, but they could very easily and very likely murder someone else, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want anyone else to have to go through what her mom and her brothers and sister, and myself had to go through, and her friends. I don't want death to be in vain. Okay. Faith was my youngest daughter, my baby girl. She was born at a real bad time in my life. A good time for her to be born, but at one of the lowest points of my life. And she was a godsend to give me a reason to live. Faith was a pretty baby, okay? From the moment they brought her out of the delivery room, first time I saw her, she was just a beautiful little girl. And, everybody thinks their child's pretty, but sometimes newborns are not so pretty to other people, but Faith was just pretty, and she never really changed a whole lot from that aspect, but her beauty didn't lie on her exterior. You know, her beauty was from within. That's the beauty that I saw. And my last memory, not my last memory of her, but my last living memory of her is here at this home. She came to visit me on Father's Day in June of 2012. I had just undergone a total hip transplant, and about a little more than a week before, and I was very weak. And but she came to see me for Father's Day, and I had no idea it was the last time I was going to see her. Okay. Good. We talked every week, several times a week normally, if I could get up with her. Either we texted or talked. And she was a highlight of my day normally, our conversations I always would close our conversations with, I'd always tell her to read her Bible and pray, and I'd always tell her to be careful of the company she kept, I always watch her surroundings, I look back at even some of the letters that I wrote her that her mother gave back to me, and I put the same things in her letters, you know. And, but in the end, it didn't seem to make any difference. I don't really know if there are words to describe it. I've always heard that you know, a parent should never have to bury their children or their child, and I guess in a perfect world, that's true, but it certainly wasn't the case here. We buried Faith on September 12, 2012, and her leaving us has just left such a void. I don't really know how to describe it. Okay, it's you know, the worst thing I ever heard in my whole life was that she had died, and you know, and the hardest thing I've done since then, hardest thing I've ever done is just live every day since then. And I've had some trials in life, okay, and which I've alluded to. But it's the most difficult struggle, and just no closure, not knowing what happened to her or who did it. Just drags it out and drags it out. You know, it just drains me. She's the first thing on my mind when I wake up. It seems before my feet can hit the floor, it seems like that's where my mind goes to, and generally the last thing on my mind when I lay down at night. And I don't know what transpired that led up to Faith's death that night, but it really doesn't matter. There was nothing that I can think of that would justify anyone doing that to her, and I know Faith deserves justice. Okay, and as long as I have breath, I'll always be seeking it. Okay. It's impossible to describe, I guess. It's just a big hole. With nothing to fill it, you know. And because as much as I love my other children, but, you know, and my friends, I mean, there's nobody that can take her place that can fill that hole.